Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Well, good morning. Nick Collier here. It's a kind of a cloudy Saturday morning, mid-August, when it's supposed to be totally dry out. It rained last night, just a little bit. It's kind of cool. Hey, we've got a short little project. It's actually a single segment of a much larger project. I make a adjustable bench pin for the jewelry industry, and I've been making these things for I don't know, 20 years now. And well, it turns out that I ran out of one part, and I got an order from a guy in, I can't remember, New Jersey or something like that. So I've got to really kind of quick make this one little part and get one whipped out for him. So we're going to go through the process of making the base. And here's a picture of the actual finished. Okay, back to this after being so rudely interrupted by a dead battery. I showed you a picture of the finished product, and now what we're going to look at is what I'm actually going to make. And you can see it's a contoured like a big ass washer. With an odd hole in it, and if you look at it, this is where the piece of tubing comes out at an angle. So we're going to throw that in the lathe. We're going to do the contouring, drill a couple of holes, and set up. Well, we're already set up. All we have to do is put the jig in place and run that hole in at a bit of an angle. So stick with me. We're going to have some fun. All right, we're going to start this. We've already taken and taken some 3.5-inch 12L14 and cut it into 550,000 slices, and so basically we put this in the lathe, which that would be logical. And while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and fire up the next one, because I'm going to make 10 of these today, and we've got 7 cut already. So we'll be back. Okay, this next step is we've got the hole cut. I faced that off. Now what we want to do is just face off about half of this. And you'll see why later. We're going to come in and cut the other side with that contour, and we're going to contour it all the way down to half. And of course, you know, this metal is pretty rusty. Let's bring it back to something nice. Okay, now we're going to do the contour of that piece. So we'll take what we did before, turn it inside, push it up against, rotate it in, and of course Oh, it took me a good hour to set this thing up so it would work. But hey, who's counting, right? Let's go. All right, so we found a little piece of slug here, and we machined off that top surface, so we've got a nice flat surface. And we brought our table out to, what is it, 1 inch 280 thousandths, which takes us out to the bolt holes. We're set on 0. And we're going to cut our seats first and then come back and drill our holes. So let's go ahead and start working on cutting the seats. And we are on 0. Yes, we are. And since my 0 is all the way around here, I'm going to go ahead and make my own little marks right here. So we're going to just start out at 310 and make a mark. Maybe not. That's not going to make a mark. Well, let's just see how it goes. All right, so now we're going to come in and take it down until we just get a circle. We've milled out the flats so that the drill bit can go down straight rather than walking off to one side. And I marked a key point where I can come in with my tool bit and find the place where I was before, right there, so that my drill matches up with that mill. Oops, a little bit off. Come on. There we go. And I have a nice center hole. So, we're just going to drill them. Rotate 120, or in this case I'm just rotating to the next chuck what is that? I don't know, I don't have a memory left anymore. Jaw, it's a chuck jaw. Alright, we got that done. We're going to rotate it around to this one jaw that has the mark on it, which is how I indexed each one of these when I was taking them out. Take it off, dump it out, and put it in the little stack. And we're about halfway done, so we've got a little bit more to do. All right, well, we've got our holes drilled. We've got our countersinks drilled. We're all set that way. We've got our center hole drilled. Now what we need to do, and here's the example piece, is we need to come in and cut this elongated circle. And you're wondering how in the hell he's going to cut that thing. So we're going to go over to the lathe, and I'm going to show you the approach I took. And I built this jig about 5 years ago, and it's been very successful, and it's worked for me for this whole time. So let's move over there. All right, so what we've done is we made a plate to be able to fit in the chuck, and then we came in and figured out where our center was going to be. And we made a second plate and then just basically welded it to the first one. And, you know, of course, tack welded it and shifted it and moved it around till it all fit perfect. And then bolted this, which is the new piece, to that plate. And now we have and basically what we want to do is we want to be able to run this in evenly, and you can kind of see what happens here. Well, of course, it doesn't fit. No, it fits. I know it does. There it goes, nice and snug. There. So that's pretty much what we want to do, is run it in nice and snug. And let's see if we're going to make sure that our main bolt is tight. It is. And we're ready to go. Now, the problem I run into is that if I just go straight in and try to kiss this back edge first, what will happen is I hit this front edge on the back of the bit, and so the thing jumps around. So what I have to do is I have to come in and just kind of clean up the front edge a little bit, take maybe 40 thousandths or so off of that, and then start working on the inside edge. take this out and put the next one in. And we'll be back. All right, well, one last little bit to do, and that is to knock off the little scrappy stuff that's kind of pulled back while we were cutting it. And we will do that with the die grinder. Just getting rid of rough edges, and I'm seeing a little bit of rough edges out there in that part too. So let's get, we're going to hand file that because that's the part that's going to show. So we're just going to kind of break that edge just a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good. And that piece is done. You know, of course, there's a lot more to do to get this, to get everything complete. But for right now, we're just going to stop here because this is the piece that I was concentrating on. And not all the rest of the pieces, but most of the rest of the pieces are already made. And this is the one I was short of. So we do a little bit of cleanup work, maybe just a little bit of sanding on those edges there, and we're set to go. Well, that was a fun little shorty there. We made some pretty interesting little twists and turns and how we got there. And you know, hey, this is Nick Collier. Stick around, check me out, and I'm checking out.